So there has to be a different training to the regular husband than the woman who's married to a minister, because they're going down a different tube. The Bible said in the book of First Timothy, likewise must First Timothy, likewise must the wife. Titus, likewise must the wife. So that means that wives have. So now I think it's important that we develop not just some type of counseling or some type of wording and some type of system for marriage. I think we need a 12-week course for married ministers. Ministers who are going to get married and have their wives, and deacons who have, that there's a training for them that goes outside of just a normal marriage, because you said something that hit a key when you said that about the marriage. So we don't have nothing in line that specifically addresses ministers' wives, bishops' wives, elders' wives. So Tim is getting ready to get married, he's coming to get married. I think we should have an additional 12 weeks that deal with the first 12 weeks we deal with. So some of y'all probably say, Lord, I don't want to be no preacher. I got to wait 24. But you follow what I'm saying. I think that's very important. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I was going to ask that question. Bishop McLeod said that as far as the training period, as a young man in ministry and want to get married and stuff like that, is it key to see that trying period before you actually get married? Is it?
Well, let me tell you this. You can see some things about it. Let me tell you this. Nothing can actually tell you how a minister live but being in it yourself.
Yes, sir.
Because you don't know what's going to go on from day to day. You can have something playing. We have had things playing. And I thank God for my wife, because once we develop, she say, I play everything around the church because I don't know what's going to come up. Once you get in, but what you can do is know that she loves God. And when she loves God and loves ministry, then she's capable of being adjusted, of getting, because when you got a person that loves God, whatever God's word say and whatever's for ministry they're going to do. So that's the thing, that you make sure that you have someone that loves God. I always tell young men, love somebody that loves God more than they love you. That's important. Because when she fall out of love with you, she'll love you. She'll stay there because she loves God. She'll try to work it out because she loves God. But Bishop McLeod, that was a key factor. So I think what we should do by November, I want to start getting with the publication department and start working on some type of literature for ministers' wives. And then I want to encourage all of the pastors to go ahead and start sticking to that training. We've been kind of breaking away from it, but I think we need to stick to it, as Deacon Joe said, because it does help us to be able to properly, if they don't get it before, they're gonna get it out. So I think that's important. Any other question? Yes, sir. Kyle?
You said for a wife you're looking for a religious balance, financial balance, and you said mental and social.
Mental and social.
Can you explain that mental and social?
Well, intellect is very important. We don't all speak the same language. You can't. It's going to be very difficult for you to speak to a wife that's speaking words that you don't even know. She said, you might like Deep. When Deep said he was a boy, you got to bring it up again, Deep. Deep was going to court. He had went in there as a teenager with a birds of full house, or something like that. I don't know what it was. He was a little young man. He didn't know what the word remorse was. So he went down there to the court, and the judge said, do you have any remorse? He said, no, I ain't got no remorse. I ain't take that. He said he thought it was something that you take. He didn't know what it meant. He said, man, I ain't still that now. There's a lot of stuff, but I ain't never seen it. I ain't taking about remorse. The judge said, lock him up. He ain't got no remorse. I ain't taking that. But you got a wife that's saying something you don't understand. She's communicating, you can't communicate. So she needs to be on the same mental capacity, same intellectual way, and then social. She needs to be able to, because some people, I'm an outgoing person. My wife's an outgoing person. Now, but from the beginning, when we first got married, I'll never forget, I would be sitting up there and I'd be talking to ministers all night. I'm talking, and their wives were there. And when the preacher's talking, and my wife is the first lady, but my wife, she done got in her car and left the minister's wife up there. So I said, honey, you can't do that. If I'm entertaining the ministers, the ministers, I said, you don't go home. You just sit in with them and talk with them. I know we be long and everything, but you sit down and talk with them. So she got there because she used to get in her car and leave when there go 2 or 3 ladies sitting around there and you know, the minister's wives, you know, preachers, when we get together, we talk an hour, the wife sitting over there, they just look, so she starts staying with them. So you gotta have somebody that's socially, you outgoing, and she over there the whole time, stuck up, that ain't gonna work. And some people have shy problems or shy issues, but they have to be willing to break that. And they have to be friendly. Some things require you to be friendly. As a minister, you're required to be friendly. You can't be stuck up halfway speaking to people. So you gotta have a wife that's the same way. You gotta have a wife that's able to be friendly too. It's not like a minister outgoing and his wife half speaking. So you have to make sure that she may be good if it's somebody that ain't in ministry. So you gotta make sure that she's can communicate. I have been to places, man, that and intellectually, that doesn't have to be a major issue. Now my wife is not crazy about loans. Now my wife is a very intelligent woman, very intelligent. But there were certain circles that she had not been in that I've been in. So, you know, like when she told y'all today when they was on the etiquette class, we went up to, I told y'all about this, we went out to a restaurant, we got a $200 steak on the table. And my wife says, y'all have any steak sauce? What kind, A1? When we got out, I said, listen, baby. I said, listen, honey, next time you go to a steakhouse, you don't buy a $200 steak to put $3 sauce on it.
It's real.
She said, baby, I ain't think about it. I said, yeah. I said, then we up there for all these people they eat, you know, would you please pass me? Pass the bar. Y'all got any A1? So you gotta make sure. And one of the other things until we went down there, she said, y'all got a strong? I said, no, I ain't for that. This high end. If I'm paying $200, I trust that you got the glasses clean well. That's an insult to them people. So we learned that dressing, going, different places that you're going, and acting and talking, and she gotta be willing to learn that even if she don't have all those things, she gotta be willing to learn and contribute. I don't think you're trying to criticize them because you're doing it. We went to a house one time. See, this was in our first stage, man. We went to a house one time. The house was, I mean, I gotta tell you, it was probably stuff there that I ain't never seen in my life. And my wife complimented them twice. I said, don't compliment them no more, right?
That's right.
She said, what, baby? I said, I'll tell you when we get out of here. She said, oh, that's a nice couch. Ooh, now I said, now we were poor. We were poor there. Poor. But I said, oh, I ain't like we were poor. You don't even compliment. I like you done seen one before. I said, this is what you do. I said, this is what you do. You get the name of that. And then the next time we go somewhere, you say, oh, is that a charade? Yeah, you know, you guys like, you know, son. Now don't go there and say, ooh, because listen, you don't want a wife that you got with you and you embarrassed of what she finna say.
Talk, sir. Talk, sir.
You know, you sit on there, y'all got liver cheese? You know, you don't want so socially, make sure she's able. And so my wife, when we would go out to eat, she said, until she said, baby, order for me, please. I said, okay. Because remember, I was raised around a lot of whites because my mother worked for the rich white folks, so I was engaged into some things. And her mother and her grandmother was as well, but she hadn't been put in those circles. So that's why she had that class today about ethics. Sister McLeod taught it today, because you know Bishop McLeod is always going somewhere elegant. So that's why now we need that for ministers' wives, because God is taking us into places that we might have never been. And when you go to those places, you want to make sure that you can represent in those places. Paul said, I became all things. I know how to do that down to the bottom and eat a bowl of chicken, but I know how to go to the top and eat with chopsticks. How to eat, you got to know how to do things differently. So that's very important. Yes, sir. I was strong.
I want to talk about it from more being disabled. Disabled level of being married. A lot of times when I got married, I was disabled, and I wasn't able to work. And my first year, I was like everybody else. Me and my wife all the time. And what the man God told me, he said, when I went to church, he told me, because you ain't working, you need to go home, stop fussing about this, you need to do this, you need to do this, and you need to first part take it, you do some stuff. What came, my marriage was, I came home one day, and I just shut up, I didn't complain about nothing, I started washing dishes. I learned how to cook. I called the bishop's mama, his mama, on the phone, and asked how to cook this, how to cook that. She was teaching me on the phone how to do it. And the whole other thing is, when my wife came home, she had to really do a whole lot.
But now you was home, you was disabled at that particular time.
Right.
That's fine, that's all right to help,
Yeah.
because you're doing that.
So,
But now that's good, because you're disabled. But if you ain't disabled, we can turn this thing around. But it's good you got enough sense to do that, though, because a lot of men don't have enough sense to do that. So I agree with you. I agree with you that if you're there where you can't and you should provide, because she's helping you with your responsibility. And so you do good with that, and you and your wife do very well. I just have a problem with these house husbands that are not disabled. You got housewives, you got house husbands. I got a problem with that. What I mean by that, a house husband, that they've allowed the wife not to take the responsibility and take the place that they're supposed to take. And that's a problem. But you're providing. You're providing. You're doing, you're doing things different. When you're disabled, that's different. But the normal man, I expect y'all brothers to take care of your family, do what you're supposed to do, and work hard to do it. And then what I'm doing, if somebody is teaching on that end, teaching the wives the responsibility, because a lot of women don't know what a husband is. They think a husband is somebody supposed to buy your pocketbooks and shoes. The man supposed to provide a house and a place where you just stand all over particular thing there. And now you're a deadbeat husband because you ain't buying no new shoes. Buying no new, or won't let her spend. Part of your responsibility is not letting your wife spend bill money. Taking the responsibility and know, hey, I gotta put our priorities straight. We need a place to stay. I can't, my wife, when we first got married, she would spend everything you get. But she knew how to save money for them bills. She saved money for them bills. And so what I done, I didn't know how to handle money. I can be honest with you. I did not know how to handle money when I first got married. So I gave my wife all the money to take care of all the bills because I didn't know how to handle it. And I would ask for what I wanted. And then I found out how much money we had left after all the bills were paid. I didn't even know what was being paid. When I found out how much we had left after I got to a certain point, when I started getting paid, I found out all the money we had left. And she was smart, but she wasn't buying no dresses or nothing, and put them in when I'm in the house. Say, honey, you home? No. And we had two closets, my closet and her closet. It was small. Man, clothes on the bed, clothes in the back, clothes and all kinds of. She was buying me a little bit here and there too at the same time. So I started saying, wait a minute, how she gonna get all this stuff? I said, how much money do y'all left when we pay all the bills? But she said, oh, they all paid. I said, no, they were answers. I said, how much they have left, but they all paid. When I found out how much money was left, I said, give me back my money. I'm gonna pay the bills. Yes, sir.
Apostle, I think the preparation for a young minister that you're doing now is putting together programs and things so that it would be financial support for young pastors and so forth. I came through an era where you didn't have that financial support. So I went through a season where my wife, the nurse, was working and I was pastoring the church.
That's right.
And the church wasn't bringing in much of anything.
Nothing.
I understood her frustration,
Yeah.
but in my heart, I kept it in my heart. One of these days, you gonna come up that job and I'm gonna take care of you
Yeah.
and pay every bill in this house. That's what a man of God, that's the goal of
That's
that
his goal.
man. And that's the process. That's why now I'll spend whatever on her.
It's the same
And I don't
thing.
want her to work.
That's the
Because
thing.
she worked through that season when the church was small.
And
We
help
didn't
someone.
have much. So I purpose in my heart, whenever we get to that place, I don't want you working. I understand why you feel the way you feel, because she was bringing, matter of fact, I was taking her money and paying church bills.
That's what I was doing, brother.
So,
Same thing.
so it was in my heart, one of these days, I'm gonna pay every bill, you gonna sit home, and that was my goal, besides pleasing God and the ministry going. But all of that, all of those components work together, makes a successful ministry.
I told my wife, because it do, even though we're preaching, it do make us sometimes when we were in that condition feel less than a man.
Right.
You know, because you got other people saying anything, and other people think you're lazy and all kind of stuff like that. What your husband do? Oh, he a pastor. How much money he make? Look, I was in that condition, and I told my wife, whenever the Lord bless this church, and the church is able to be a blessing to me, you coming off that job. And I told her I wanted to come off the job, and she fought me nail and tooth, said, baby, and we hadn't had no arguments for years, because that was that first 2 years. She said, baby, I can't get off that job. I said, what? She said, because, you know, church is up and down. You don't know what's gonna happen. She said, besides all that, my job provides benefits and insurance, and all this kind of stuff there. So she wouldn't get off the job. We fussed about 6 months. Not the hard fussing like we heard in the first 2 years, but it was like, and one day Sister Carter had a dream. And she said she had a dream, and me and Lisa had just talked. I said, Lisa, you got to get off that job, and I need your help with these ladies around here. I said, I really need your help. Sister Carter had a dream. She said she had a dream that it was this mama bird, and it was these little old baby birds that needed food, and the mama bird kept flying away. And she told me the dream, and told Sister Carter the dream. She said, I don't know what it is, but it said you was in a dream, and I don't know what it was. And I said, I know what the dream is. You know what the dream is. She started crying right in that. She started crying. She told the people, said, I won't be back to work. And she made a step of faith and got on. And I made that same commitment. But that's hard. That's why we trying to put this with the Jesus Camp. Y'all heard me when I was talking about the Jesus Camp, how we trying to make that where we can provide salaries for the ministers, whether you got 5 members, once you get 25 members, that's $150 per week. 50, $300 per week. And that's low now, but that's good. And then every 25 members is another $150, and then that's coming from the Jesus Camp. So encourage the people to go to Jesus Camp. That money will be totally dedicated. That's why we just put the minister's wife over the whole Jesus Camp resort. So they're over that. Don't forget to sign up. Go and see those ministers' wives so that you can sign up. If you're a pastor or you're holding a congregation, go see them so you can sign out and be able to, we call it the Bible Way Pastor's Drop. And the state got a drop, we got a drop. So go and check it out. Go sign up if you're a minister, because we don't want you to experience some of the things that we've experienced. Most of the pastors, most of the bishops, all the board of bishops, are men that went out and had to labor like that. And we're trying to prevent it so that it won't be as hard. A good man look out for the next man behind him.
Yes, sir.
And not just look out for himself. That can help deal with some of the challenges that you have to deal with. I'm gonna take 3 more questions and I'm gonna let you go. Anyone else that have another question? A comment? All right, yes, sir, Leo?
My comment is just that I really appreciate, I think I can speak on behalf of all the men in the building that we really appreciate all the teaching you've been doing this week on just from spirituality and just how to be a man and be a man of God, like, for the most. So, and my question also was, what do you think society switched, like, as like position of man? Would you say it came from slavery, or would you say that it came from after the civil rights era?
Well, I think a lot of it was put it in slavery. I think a lot of it, I do believe a lot of it came as a turn for mentioned slavery. I think a lot of this modern day stuff that's going on in society today is the influence of homosexuality. The world is trying to push that out, and so there's a neutral gender. There's a neutrality agenda. You notice first they minimize the role of a man and make the man and a woman equal, and then they switch them over. You gotta convert it. And so I think that's one of the major things today. And I think that people trying to lower the authority of a man. A man is the head of his house. He is still the head of his house. People are afraid to say that. If you say that now, it's like male chauvinist. I'm in charge of my household. My wife has a say, but I have the last say. That's hard to get people to even say that. And you mentioned that in a secular environment. They think, but the church now has become more secular than the world, and the church doesn't believe. That's why we don't have women bishops, women pastors, women overseers, because it does not reserve us to have a place of authority. And when you limit that, so if society takes a man's position, if the job takes a man's position, the church shouldn't take that. The church shouldn't take that. So we must now still have that the man and the woman are not of equal authority. That man is still the head. That man still have the last say. So that man, we're not teaching men to be doggish, we're not teaching men to be mean, but he has the last say so. When we change that, we automatically mess it up. Yes, sir, Deacon Mayo.
Yeah, when the man is not doing what he's supposed to be doing, I'm seeing also a lot of their children are becoming lesbians and transgenders and all of that. And, I'm just.
Well, if there's no distinction in the role, there's a reason God put breasts on a woman and didn't put them on a man. There's a reason God allowed women to have long hair, men to have short. There's a reason God got your skin hard and her skin soft, the texture and all. Because God wanted them to see a difference. If that child can't see it, if that child mama got more voice than that man, that it confuses that girl. It confuses that boy. So you gotta have the distinction of the roles in the house. The distinction, if the daddy said, all right, girl, you better straighten up, and the mama said, who you talking to? Her voice is hard, that child can't tell no distinction. So that's important. Now, they ain't got the distinction in the home, now they ain't got the distinction in the church, now they ain't got the distinction in society. Ain't no example of male authority. Yes, sir, my brother in the back. Last one.
As you were saying about being the head of the household, I was raised around, my dad was my mom was pretty much the head of the household. And growing up through studying part of the Bible, I did understood about the man being the head of the household. It's that we got married, it just being a slow adjustment, being the head of the household, dealing with young lady, another young lady, and my wife. And then deal with a bunch of women in my house and making my rules is kind of hard at first, but thanks to my pastor advice, I kind of hang with it, and now just feeling more into it.
You're talking about with your wife?
Yes, sir.
Your wife was talking about a pretty good man. And I think your pastor have taught her well enough that she would be submitted. So you may not have to be as aggressive. You can ride a horse or you can ride a mule. I think it's the difference. You want to make a comment, Attorney Moore?
Well, I wanted to know if you want to talk about PM Day.
Oh yeah, I want to mention that. I already talked to Bishop McLeod. This is Attorney Ford, and you know, I've been talking, I announced on Sunday that we're gonna be opening a law firm for the PMJA in Tampa. So we were all excited about that. This is the brother that's going to be, responsible for overseeing that PMJA legal branch. Amen. And I think that's a great. As you know, he's been working for one of Bishop McLeod's members, Sister Talbert. Y'all have seen it all over the news, a young man that didn't stand of the pledge. That was one of Bishop McLeod's members in Lakeland, at the new Lakeland church. It's a wonder how God had it happen. If he hadn't had that church open in Lakeland, she wouldn't have been there. And you know, we were trying to decide about opening another branch in Lakeland and going through all the preliminary procedures that we had to go to, but that was the Lord's doing, because had that church not been there, she would have not been there, and at the same time, she was becoming a member of the church there. Attorney Ford was reaching out to us, trying to reconnect with the PMJA. You know that was divine. And so, what we're in the process of now, we want to venture all of our building opportunities. I talked to Ed about that on today, because we don't want to just have a building, we want to have something that represents in a good way. Matter of fact, I was talking to Ed today and said it would even be good if we could have something like a strip mall or something of our own, where we can not only put the law firm, but kind of like we got down there in Statesboro, a few other businesses, maybe the insurance company, maybe the few. So we're in search. We're going to do something temporary, but we're in search. That's a blessing to be able to have our own law firm. I think that's a blessing. So what we're doing now, first of all, anything in Florida that we deal with, you know, that we have to deal with, membership, we want to try to deal with it through this aspect, and just, you know, we want to support our own. So we're working on that now. Attorney Ford, would you like to just say anything to anybody about this, let them know? And y'all know Brother Mitchell, he's a fighter, he's shaking Bartow up. The devil hide behind the bushes down there, Bartow. And Brother Deontay over there, the one hooked us up. Amen, the new married man. He done went down there, boy, that girl done fed him. Boy, you tell me, you know how to cook, boy.
All right. Thank you very much, Apostle. Well, first of all, I understand that there are pastors from outside of the state of Florida here this week, as I understand. And could you raise your hands? I'm just curious. Okay. So where are you from in the back? Statesboro, Georgia. And what about you?
Jessup, Georgia.
Jessup, Georgia. All right. And someone over here? You, sir?
Charlotte area, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte, North Carolina. All right. And what about you? All right, Mississippi. And someone over here? Raise their hands from out of state. No one else? Okay. Well, I tell you, I'm excited about the PMJA Legal Defense Fund / law firm that we are launching. This is my 24th year practicing law, and me and Pastor Cowart, we both have two great passions, one being love for Christ and the ministry, and the other one being law and social justice and civil justice. We were talking about growing up, and we had similar experiences, and he went into the ministry at an early age, and I pretty much knew that I was going to go with law at an early age. But Christ was always at the center of my involvement in the law. And I won't talk about I won't talk about all of that, but I do want to talk about the idea of law and religion, because much of what the church faces today, the challenges of the family, from same-sex marriage to the roles of women in society to lawyers advertising for divorces and things like that. These secular forces that we have to contend with as the church and society is real. In addition to all of the other challenges that we face as black men in society, with being criminalized, denied job opportunities, really the denial of justice, period, in terms of how we are stereotyped as black men, and so many other routine things that we need in terms of estates planning, elder care law for our older people who are members of churches, adoptions, wills, things that are critically important to us as individuals. So there's so many different facets of how the law impacts the church and members of the church. In addition to that, our pastors need legal services of a variety of sorts. And so the secular law, whether it be the Constitution, whether it be criminal law, whether it be civil law, impacts the church. In order for the church of the 21st century to function properly, it is important for our pastors to have a working knowledge of the law, and also for our members to have access to civil justice. And so that's what we're going to be working on through the PMJA. I conceptualize the PMJA to function as a regular law firm. We're going to have paralegals and investigators. We're going to be looking to bring in lawyers with different specialties, criminal defense, civil rights, family. So it's going to be a functional law practice. But our number one goal is to bring Christ into the courtroom, to bring Christ and the perspective of the church into the legislative chambers, to let the world know that the Spirit of Christ is real and powerful, and it's not unintellectual. That's not what God is. God is law. God is justice. And we want to remind the world that the manifestation, one of the great manifestations of God, is the presence of justice. Okay, and so we want to make sure that the PMJA is the arm of the church out into the world. It is a legal assistance ministry, and I was telling Pastor Coward that I do consider myself to be a secular minister of Christ to the world. I'm not ordained by the church, but this is a ministry. I consider it a ministry. We will treat it as a ministry. One of the things that we want to do is to attract lawyers who love Christ. We want lawyers who are accomplished. We want lawyers who are the best in their field. But you absolutely have to be an advocate for Christ. You have to love the children of God in order to be affiliated with this very special law firm that we are putting together. Another thing that I think makes the PMJA law firm / legal defense fund very, very special and critically important is because there's nothing else like it in our communities. I think that the legal profession has become so riveted to money making and secularism that it has forgotten its Christian roots. It has gone away from the fact that there was a time in Western civilization, if you will, before the Pilgrims came to North America when Western civilization, the centers of power was in London and Paris, France, and Germany, that the church was a major player, was the only player on the block, and so the legal system came out of the church. The Bible is a book of law. The Bible was considered the main law book, the major law book. And in our Anglo-American system, legal system, constitutional system, the Bible was the law. It's the foundation of our law, and it's still the foundation of our law. So it's critically important that we remind the secular legal system that the foundation of justice is still pretty much the gospel. It's still the golden rule. It's still the goal of the law, and it's wrong to allow police brutality to go on, not simply because the civil rights statute says it's wrong, but it's wrong because from a spiritual standpoint, the foundation of our law says the golden rule is the law of the land. You know, you treat each other with respect. You do unto others as you expect to be done by. So these foundations are Christian foundations, are church foundations, and the church is the foundation of our secular legal system. And so it's important for the church to understand that our position is not an unintellectual position. It's not a dumb position to talk about for example, we're talking about tonight the family structure and the role of men being leaders in the family. These things are critically important to the survival of civilization, to who we are. So we have to, one of the things we need to do as lawyers, as Christian lawyers in the system, is to make sure that the power structure understands that the position of the church on these issues are, in my opinion, superior positions, but also very much legitimate, okay? Very, very much legitimate positions to be advocated in our secular halls of power. And I know I'm talking in generalized terms because there are so many reasons as to why I'm promoting this PMJA Legal Defense Fund. We are looking to establish various branches within and how we're going to operate. We're going to have a civil division and a criminal defense division so that we can, bring in lawyers and provide effective legal services. We're going to have a division that focuses on providing services to pastors and getting to know your church, getting to know the bishops, getting to know your needs, so that we can provide effective legal services, from that angle. And so that's about it. Anything you'd like to add? Okay.
I know y'all excited about this, right? So this one time, we're gonna try to have something nailed down before the end of next week. So I'll be getting some of you brothers to go and help us when we get to the point that we need to do some painting and some building and provide funds. And so Ed, while you down there, you be looking for me too. And Eli, you come over that way, so y'all help us find a nice building in the area. Now, this is my last announcement. We do have, the funeral's at 1, right? That's right. We do have the ministerial training information I was telling you about. It doesn't cost anything. It's not a dime, and nothing at all. It's going to be at the church in Columbia. I'll be doing it on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and this is the schedule. It has the schedule. I'll be teaching theology on Thursdays. I'll be teaching church evangelism on Fridays, praying, the ministry of the women on Saturday, and on Sundays, I'll be preaching on some Sundays out there. And the Sundays I'm not preaching, I'll be having another minister there. But it's a free class for 6 months, and I'm teaching a college class in those 6 months. But I've got this trained so that you can send your ministers from your local church, the praying women or whoever from the local church that need training, they can come in free of charge. And I promise you, and I don't make many promises, I told you all that. If they take one of those 6 weeks class, if they take the theology class, they're gonna be very well versed in theology. They take the evangelistic class, they will go back and do the evangelistic work to fill those churches up. The praying women, and it doesn't cost anything. It's kind of central. I think it's close to Selma. It's close to the churches up north. It's close to you, Elder Kitchen. And you can bring anybody. All I need to do, I want to get them signed out so I can know where they can sit. Yes, sir.
Pastor, the ones that won't be able to attend, are you gonna be doing the YouTube,
We won't be doing anything YouTube from that class because I'm doing this as a twofold thing. Because I got hands-on training. The people that's coming, I want to actually be training them how to do it so we can fill that church up in Columbia in 6 months. So in 6 months, when we leave Columbia, we want to have at least 600 members in that local church that was built by the people that were in the training. So if I get the teaching on YouTube, then the people that I need to come do it won't be there. But while you're learning that, you'll be able to go back home and fill the congregation up. Because, and I'll be in tent revival 3 months in Columbia. I'll stay in tent revival there in June, July, and August. Also this year when we go, so that we can do training, when we go to the youth convention, we're gonna have day services in the youth convention for the kids, and at night we're gonna have tent revival in the city, so we can win people in that city. We're gonna have the Mace convention in Columbia, South Carolina. That's what it's gonna be, and then I'm going to, because a lot of y'all, you don't get a chance to do much with your families because we're in class all day. Our classes will be from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock in the morning, and at night, I'm gonna have a service at 7:30 and invite the people in Columbia in as an evangelistic lab, but you're free with your family all day. So 7 o'clock to 10, I'll be teaching. 7 o'clock to 10, maybe 7 o'clock to 9. 7 o'clock to 10, I'll probably teach. Everybody can go out, enjoy your family, come back for service at 7:30 because I really think we miss the benefit of winning people when we do it that way. So if everywhere we have a Mace service, a Mace meeting, we have it set up like that at that night, the people in the community can come to the church. We can leave a church there, and we can leave a church a year just from the Mace. So if you're interested, see Lewis. The schedule is on there, the classes are on there, and the paper to sign up is on there. Turn that paper into Lewis tonight. Turn it to him tonight. Try not to leave without filling it out. We have people that will drive. We got a group that's driving up from here. The praying women, their classes is 5:30 a.m. to 8 o'clock a.m. on Saturdays. There's a reason for that because that's the prayer time that we have set. So they'll be in that training that 6 months so they can get used to being up that time, praying with the church and all that. And then from 8 o'clock to 10 on Saturdays, I'm actually going in the communities. We'll be going in the communities. 1 month I'll teach door-to-door witness. 1 month I'll teach community witness. And what we're going to do on the community witness, we'll bring bounce houses. I'll get all the beauticians that's in the church to come out, set up chairs, barber shops, all that in the community. We have people that do different things in the community. We're gonna get all the people, different talents and things in the community, bring them in one of the projects and minister to the people in the projects and bus them to the church. So there'll be a lot of things that we'll be doing. How many of y'all interested in that? Please, and you can bring as many members as you want, please see Brother Lewis and fill it out. Well, you can stand to your feet. Let's lift our hands. Let's leave an offering. Everybody